Detoxes, juice cleanses, skinny coffees, lemon water challenges. What these all have in common is that they sell you the same dream. They flush toxins, they reset your body, they lose weight fast, and they undo damage from the previous years of bad eating. And I get why people fall for it, right? Because when you feel bloated, when you feel tired, out of shape, or like you've been eating like crap, the idea of a quick reset sounds perfect. You don't want another boring answer like eat better and be consistent, even though it might be the best answer. No, you want something that feels like it wipes the slate clean. But that's exactly how these brands and companies get you, right? Because they take a normal feeling like bloating, guilt, low energy, and wanting to lose weight quickly and turn it into a product. But here's the truth, your body isn't dirty. You're not full of mysterious toxins, and you don't need a detox or a juice cleanse or a new restrictive diet to fix your life. Because most of these products aren't cleansing anything but your bank account. So before you waste your money, let's break down why detox is, to be frank, full of shit, really. Your body already detoxes. So the funny part about detox products is that they act like your body is just sitting there helpless, as if there's a bunch of yucky substances that your body can't seem to shake, and that your body simply needs some 30-pound tea from Instagram to find an cocaine and do their job. But see, your body already has a detox system. It's called your liver, it's called your kidneys, it's called your digestive system, and yes, even sweat plays a role as well. That's why when detox products say that they flush toxins, you really have to ask, what do you think your body is doing every single day? I promise you it's not doing nothing, but let's find out. So, your liver is basically one of your body's main processing centers. It helps break down substances your body doesn't need, including things like alcohol, certain drugs, byproducts from digestion, etc. etc. It also helps process nutrients, produces bile to help with fat digestion, and helps turning waste into forms that your body can remove. Your kidneys, on the other hand, are like filters. Blood comes through them constantly, and they remove waste products and extra water, which then leaves your body as urine. The National Kidney Foundation explains that once your kidneys filter your blood, the clean blood goes back into your body while waste materials move into the bladder as urine. Urine is basically just waste, which is, I hope, is a wake-up call for the people who drink their own urine and claims to have it give some kind of nutritional benefits, because it really doesn't. That's just gross. But anyways, then there's your digestive system. Your gut helps break down food, absorb nutrients, and remove waste through your stool. And sweat does remove some waste, but this is where people tend to twist the truth or misunderstand what exactly happens, right? The main purpose of sweating is not detoxing, it's cooling you down. Medicine Plus describes sweating as the body's natural way of regulating temperature, and the Cleveland Clinic explains that sweat is mainly produced to keep your body temperature at a healthy level. So yes, sweat can contain small amounts of waste products, salt, and trace substances, but sweating more does not mean you are detoxing harder. So sitting in a sauna or wrapping yourself in a bin bag while you're running is not some kind of elite fat loss strategy or toxin removal hack. You're simply just losing more water. So to reiterate again, your body does not need a cleanse. And this is why the whole detox industry annoys me, because they take something your body already does naturally, give it a scary name like toxin buildup, and then try to sell you some kind of solution. But major health sources does not back up these big detox claims. The NIH's National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health says that there's no convincing evidence that detox or cleanse programs remove toxins from your body or improve health. NIH's News in Health also notes that expert reviews have found the evidence does not support detox diets for weight loss or toxin removal. So, no, your body does not need a skinny tea. So, no, your body does not need a skinny tea to activate its detox system because your liver is already working, your kidneys are already working, and yes, your gut is already working, and even sweat glands are doing their job in helping to regulate temperature. The detox product isn't unlocking anything, basically, it's just useless, really. Now, another point I normally see asked is, can you lose weight on a detox? The answer is yes, but it's not because your body is flushing toxins, it's because you're barely eating. If you go from eating normal meals to drinking juice, tea, soup, lemon water, sadness, and a bit of desperation for 3 days, well, then of course the scale is gonna drop. You're in a calorie deficit after all. That's how weight loss works. But that doesn't automatically mean that you've lost body fat. A lot of that quick drop can come from three things, right? It's less food sitting in your stomach, it's less water stored in your body, and it's a massive drop in calories. The NCCIH says that juicing on detox diets does not cause initial weight loss because they are usually very low in calories, but people often gain the weight back once they return to a normal diet. And that's the part that you don't really understand, or that's the part that isn't really, you don't pick up on. Because the detox diets gets the credit for the weight loss, and then the real reason is just calorie restriction. That's all it is. You could just eat normal food, create a normal calorie deficit, and lose fat without pretending that your body is full of mysterious toxins. But eat food in normal controlled proportions doesn't really sell as well as reset your body in 7 days using this one trick. And this is why people normally get tricked by the scale. Because let's say, for example, that you start a juice cleanse on Monday and by Wednesday you're down a few pounds. You think, oh my god, like it's working, the detox is doing its work, it's doing amazing stuff, all the detox toxin, whatever, yucky is gone. But what probably happened is you just ate less food, so there's just less physical food inside the digestive system, and you lost a bit of weight because it's a massive calorie deficit. You also ate fewer carbs, so your body may store less glycogen, which is stored carbs in your muscles and liver, and it holds water within it. So when glycogen drops, of course, water weight drops as well, which is why the scale go down quickly. But weight scale loss doesn't always mean a massive amount of fat loss. This is why people can lose 3 or 4 pounds in a few days, then gain it back almost immediately after eating normally again. They didn't naturally gain 3 or 4 pounds of fat overnight. A lot of that weight was water, food volume, and just normal body fluctuation. And the same thing happens in reverse. Like, you finish the detox, eat a proper meal again, have some carbs, drink fluids, and suddenly the scale jumps back up. And then you think, oh, I failed. And like, oh, the detox didn't work. I thought the detox would do its job. I need to do another detox and just do it again so it'll work better. But, I mean, like, yeah, of course you failed because detox doesn't work, dummy. It doesn't work the way you think it does. All it did was it just gave you a temporary scale drop and sold it to you as transformation, right? That's not the same as a sustainable fat loss, because actual fat loss comes from being in a calorie deficit consistently over time. It's not starving yourself for a few days, not drinking laxative tea. It's not cutting out every food you enjoy and not pushing yourself because you had a bad weekend, right? So when someone says like did a detox and lost weight, I mean, they might be right, but like the important question is like, did you lose actual body fat? How much did you lose and how long did you keep it off? Right? Because it's like that you didn't keep it off for long. Another thing is that, like, did it teach you habits that you can repeat, or did it just make you hungry, miserable, lighter and loserific for the next 3 days, right? Because if the only reason a plan works is because you can barely eat, then it's not a real, it's not a fat loss strategy. It's just an ED with good marketing, and that's what detox is. It is not. It is not magic. It's just low calories, water weight, and a temporary drop on the scale that's dressed up as science. And this is the part that actually confuses me, because when these detox phases, like, they remove toxins, I'm sitting there thinking, what toxins exactly? Like, genuinely, what exactly are these toxins that we're talking about? Like, are we talking about alcohol? Are we talking about heavy metals like lead? Are we talking about medication byproducts? Are we talking about food additives and preservatives? Are we talking about bacteria or like waste products from normal metabolism? Like, what exactly are we talking about? Because toxins sound serious, but most of these companies and brands never actually define what they mean. And that's kind of the red flag. Because if a product claims that it removes toxins from your body, the next question should be simple. What toxins exactly are these? Like, can you name them? Can you name how much was in the body before? Can you name how much was removed after? How much was measured? Was there a blood test? Was there a urine test? Was there a stool test? Was there some kind of proper clinical trial? Because if you're making a scientific claim, you should be able to give a scientific answer. But most of the time, they don't, because they can't, really. What they do is they just say things like, oh, this flush toxins, it cleans your system, it resets your body, or it removes impurities. And it sounds good because it's just vague enough for people to attach their own meaning to it, but it doesn't actually say anything in of itself. If you feel bloated, you're normally just gonna think like it's the toxins. If you feel tired, you're gonna think that must be the toxins. If your skin breaks out, you're gonna think that's just the toxins. If the scale goes up after a weekend of eating out, then you think that must be the toxins, because it couldn't possibly be that garlic creamy pasta you ate that one Friday. No, it has to be toxins, right? But most of the times, it's not some mysterious toxin buildup. It might just be poor sleep. It might just be stress, dehydration, higher salt intake, more food sitting in your gut, less fiber, alcohol, your menstrual cycle for women, or just normal body fluctuation. Or maybe just like creamy garlic pasta that you ate. But hey, normal body fluctuation doesn't sell, but toxin do. And that word is powerful because it creates fear without needing detail. It makes you feel like there's something dirty inside you that doesn't need to be fixed. And once they've made you feel like your body is contaminated, then it becomes much easier to sell you the solution. And that's why I always say, like, if you can't name the toxin, they probably can't prove the detox. So when a company says, oh, this detox removes toxins, don't just nod along, right? Ask, like, have them be specific, because once you ask which toxins exactly, like, the whole thing usually starts falling apart, and it just goes from sounding scientific and like an actual fact to just pure pseudoscience that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's what most detox marketing is. It's just a scary word to fearmonger, and then it gives you a vague promises or just a before and after photo with like a discount code. Like, it's not science, it's just marketing dressed up as health advice when it's not. And some of these detoxes aren't just useless, they can actually be risky as well. I'm not saying like every detox trend is dangerous. Like, if you drink lemon water or green juice or herbal tea because you enjoy it, that's completely fine. That's not dangerous at all. But the problem starts when people use detoxes as a way to kind of punish themselves and do some extreme things that end up damage their bodies, like extreme fasting, laxative teas, colon cleanses, cutting out loads of food groups, or just barely eating for days because you think you're resetting everything, but that's not really the case. Because what happens, it could mess with your energy, it could mess with the hydration, electrolytes, your relationship with food, which is very important, and it doesn't actually teach you anything useful. Because what happens after the detox is like you still need to know how to eat normally. You still need to know how to build balanced meals. You still need to know how to manage weekend cravings, takeaways, stress, and social events without like going back straight to panic mode. And that's the real issue because detox makes you think that the answer is a short term reset and that you're making proper progress when the proper answer is just simply a better routine. Mayo Clinic says that colon cleanses is not needed to remove toxins because your digestive system and bowels already remove waste from your body. And the NCCIH says that detox products have been targeted by regulators for false claims, harmful ingredients, or unapproved uses. So instead of trying to flush everything out, instead I try to do the boring stuff properly. Eat enough protein, get your fruit and veggies in, drink water, get enough fiber, sleep properly, train consistently, and stop turning one bad time into a full identity crisis because some guy told you that there's some yucky things inside you. Because that's what actually helps. It's not the tea that helps you run to the toilet. Because that's what actually helps. It's not a tea that sends you sprinting to the toilet every few hours. Right, so no, I'm not saying lemon tea is evil. Feel free to drink your green tea or your lemon water if you like it, but don't pretend it's doing some kind of surgery on your liver because it's just lemon water at the end of the day. That's all it is. So, what actually works, right? So, what does work? So here's the boring truth, right? You don't need a detox. You need consistency. What you need to do, you need to drink enough water, you need to eat enough protein, get your fiber in, get your fruits and veg, sleep properly, move your body. It doesn't have to be yoga. It can lift some weight, run. Just literally just get a normal routine. That's simply all it is. You don't need a detox. You need consistency. That's it. Yeah, boring advice wins at the end of the day. Surprise, surprise. Right? The detox industry gets a bunch of money telling you that your body's broken and that you need a detox. But really, you don't need a detox. Your habits just need structure. So every time like you see some kind of person selling you some cleanse on TikTok or Instagram, just ask yourself a question like, does this actually works? Like, is this actually a thing? Do they have actual proper claims that works, right? Because once you ask that, it's very likely that they don't have that. It's just a bunch of pseudoscience or a bunch of nonsense that they're trying to sell to you so they can make money. And that's not a good thing, personally. I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a good thing to do. But yeah, that's the end of my TED Talks. If you liked the video, I mean, watch something else, please. I need money. Thank you. Anyways, don't be a loser. And don't do detox. Thank you. Bye.